Welcome back, guys. So today we're going to be taking a look at Samurai Shodown for the Nintendo Switch. I really enjoyed this game on the PS4 when it came out. Now I'm going to find out if I enjoy it on the Switch. So this recently came out in Japan and Southeast Asian regions. It's supposed to come out in the West and the US sometime next year. The Asian version, it's listed as Samurai Shodown. The packaging says Samurai Shodown. There's a lot of English on here as well. But the curious thing is the cartridge that came with it is actually listed as Samurai Spirits. It looks like it's just the Japanese cartridge, just repackaged for Asian territories. Reminds me a little bit of AES cartridges where, depending on the region you're playing it in, it's going to play it in that language. So playing it on a North American account, boom, it's Samurai Shodown. It plays in English. That's what I heard the Japanese version does, and I have no issue with this. It's all in English. Now, the one thing that I had heard was this game's supposed to run 60 frames per second, so I wanted to kind of look at that a bit, but also showcase some gameplay in handheld mode, and then we'll also play it in docked mode, and kind of do a quick comparison against the PS4. Because this game really, it's not a demanding game in my opinion with the graphic style that it uses. Even on the PS4, you know, textures weren't crazy or anything like that. Some of the backgrounds had some animations going on. And so far, from what I've seen, it mimics, you know, the stages and the characters very well in this port. Definitely there's some downscaling on some textures and a little bit on the animation side with some of the stuff in the background from what I've seen. But one of the things with the 60 frames per second that, you know, they advertised or had brought up, like, hey, this is 60 frames per second game on the Switch, is that is not necessarily the case, because there are times where the game definitely dips down in the, you know, the FPS category there. I've had a few times where it just starts to chug for a quick second, but quickly recovers. But in a fighting game that requires, you know, quick responses, that is kind of a no-go for a lot of people. So that is something you're going to have to keep in mind if you're looking to get the Switch version. You know, comparing it to the PS4 version, the cutscenes, the battles, everything's looking good. Definitely the PS4 version is going to be a little crisper, a little sharper, but I really don't see it being downscaled that much as far as the visuals go. The game looks like something that could have originally been on the 360 to begin with. You know, they went with that Street Fighter 4 style anyway, which I'm not complaining, and I think they do an excellent job bringing that on over to the Nintendo Switch version, and it's definitely a fun game, but I really think for some people the frames dropping occasionally is going to be real bothersome. Can that kind of thing be fixed in a patch in the future? That's for certain. It could happen, but there's no guarantee, obviously. So just wanted to really point that out. I have enjoyed playing this on the Switch. It's been a lot of fun, but my preference really lies in the PS4 version. Not that the Switch version's bad by any means, but, you know, I love Nintendo games. I love Nintendo systems. But when you have a game that's on another more powerful console, obviously there's going to be some visual differences and maybe some, you know, certain aspects as well, like the frames per second. So to me, it's neat. We can play this in handheld mode. We could play it on the go. It's definitely a lot of fun. Not too much that I can complain about other than those little dips in the frames per second on occasion that I have noticed. I tried looking it up, seeing if other people have complained about that. And I've seen a couple little articles that briefly mentioned it, that yeah, it does not maintain 60 frames. It does dip down occasionally. But otherwise, you know, the graphics look pretty damn nice, in my opinion, compared to the PS4 version. I mean, we can compare it to the Stadia version, but that just chugs along for me. So I wouldn't even really need to bother comparing it to the Stadia version. But the one neat thing as well with the Switch version, at least in the Asian countries, and I'm pretty sure they're going to be doing this with the US and Western releases, is that you also, for like an early buyer type thing, you get Samurai Shodown 2 Pocket Fighting, which is an excellent Neo Geo Pocket color game. And playing that on the Switch, like I said, I got the Southeast Asian version of this. I tried setting up an account on Hong Kong, Singapore, Taiwan, all over the damn place as far as the Southeast Asian regions were concerned. And I think Hong Kong would have been like the main one, but I couldn't download the code for Samurai Shodown 2 Pocket Fighting. I had to set up a Japanese account. The code that I received was in English mostly, and it was called Samurai Shodown on the page. It didn't say Samurai Spirits, so it had, you know, some Chinese writing on there, but it was mostly all in English, whereas the card that comes with the Japanese version's all in Japanese and says Samurai Spirits. So I was kind of confused with that a little bit, but eventually I got it downloaded, had to set up that Japanese account, can only use that account that I have set up as a Japanese account to play the game, which is not a huge deal, but definitely really fun playing this game. Samurai Shodown 2 for the Neo Geo Pocket Color really brings back a lot of great memories of the Pocket Color. I owned one even up until recently, but I wound up getting rid of it because I just wasn't using it anymore. But there's just so many great fighting games on the little handheld. Yeah, it's only 2 buttons, but you would be surprised at the depth with these fighting games. And this one in particular, it's not, you know, what you would think. It's not Samurai Shodown 2, the original version. It's a whole new game. And I really do enjoy this one. Played it quite a bit way back around when it first came out. You know, you have some interesting boss battles, some, you know, a lot of cool fighting going on. Like I said, there's some depth with the 2 buttons. And the graphics aren't that bad, you know, definitely considering the time that, you know, when it came out. And playing it on the Switch, the first images I'd seen of it, I was like, man, I'm not going to be able to play this shit on here. You know, such a small screen, it throws the Neo Geo Pocket Color on the screen of your Nintendo Switch. But there's actually some options here. You could change the color of the Neo Geo Pocket Color that's in the background, which I thought was interesting, unnecessary, but interesting. They went the extra mile to add some, you know, little features. You have a rewind feature. You have a little screen filter, like a, you know, to try to mimic the screen of a Neo Geo Pocket Color, which I really don't care for with the scan line. So I leave that off. But the one thing that I wasn't sure of until I started messing with this is that, yes, you can zoom up, blow up the screen a bit, and it still remains very sharp. Looks great, in my opinion. A really fun game, a cool little bonus. I know there's an English release from, I can't remember the name of the company. I'll flash it up, but they have like a whole special collector's edition. From what I've seen, it's going to be pretty pricey, but it comes with a physical copy of this game. That was pretty cool, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to double dip on that. Now, back to Samurai Shodown 2019 on the Switch. I've tried to get like online fights. I'm playing the Southeast Asian version on a North American account. It's playing it in English just fine. If I try to find a battle in my own region, it's just not happening. Have not been able to connect to a fight. If I go to all regions, same thing. I've been trying over the past few days randomly. You know, maybe I'm just, you know, not hitting people when they're on. But I'm definitely not getting any online battles. I don't know if it's because I'm playing it on a North American account or if it's just, like I said, maybe the crossover in time zones with the people who mostly have this game. I'm just not hitting it. So I think I'll still buy the US version of the game, you know, to be able to access the DLC a little easier, that kind of stuff. And hopefully by that time, because it's supposed to come out 2020, who knows for sure when, first quarter. Hopefully they get some of those FPS issues ironed out, because it's not major, but it does happen occasionally. So I did have to speak on that. I love this game. I've double dipped already. I actually own the Japanese copy on the PS4 and the US version. So I'm going to be quadruple dipping into this game. I just like it so much. Love these SNK fighters, and this one is definitely no different. But if I had to choose, the portability of this game On the Nintendo Switch version's not that important to me. I don't like playing fighting games in handheld mode on the Switch Lite or on the regular Switch with the Joy-Cons. So that's not the most important thing for me, but for some people it might be. It's kind of cool. I would prefer to play the PS4 version. If I just had to say, hey, I can only own one copy of this game, it's going to be on the PS4. That's just the way it is. So hey, just wanted to share my thoughts on this game. Was it worth it? Yeah, but then again, I should have just waited for the US version. But I did want to kind of see how this performed on the Switch. Oh yeah, the other thing, you could play this game with a single Joy-Con. I don't know why you would want to, but you can. If that's all you got is your Joy-Cons, you could play some 2-player action with your 2 Joy-Cons. Kind of weird with the little last controller, but hey, more power to you. But there you go. Really do appreciate you guys. And with that said, I will catch y'all next time. Peace out. Bye-bye and boom. Bye.